Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Efl TV, where we find out exactly what's going on in the Eastern Football League. Joining me is the manager of the Eastern Football League media team, Lauren Wood. G'day, Loz.
Great to be back, Half, once again.
Great to have you back after a big weekend of EFL action where I believe we had two Centurions in Divi 4.
It is. We can't seem to get a quiet week across the league at the moment. We had Lucas Appleby from South Belgrave notched up a massive 19 goals.
Sorry, what was that?
19. Could you believe it? We
In the
were
one
in
game?
the caravan at Scoresby getting some texts through and all these reports through, and we didn't really believe it. He sat on 82, I believe, going into the match.
Yes. Probably hadn't
Didn't
planned
really
for the celebration.
expect the ton, but yeah, managed to knock it over, as
Wow.
did Darren Sheen from Heathmont with a 10-goal haul. So great to see. We didn't you never really expect it this early in the year, still with a few rounds remaining. So it'll be interesting to see how many more they can add with the 3 rounds they've got left.
What's the record in a game? Is 19 the record?
It'll be pretty close, I reckon. We'd have to get the record books out, but there's been a nice little bit of discussion on the forum about it. So a few mentions of Mick Aitken also with 19 a few years ago, but it would be interesting to see.
Well done to both boys, an outstanding achievement at any level of footy, so congratulations. Now, senior finals venues have been announced this week.
They have. There was a lot of speculation, but it was ultimately resting with a few results on the weekend. So it looks like your boys are out to Ringwood.
Looks like it, yes.
Well,
Jubilee Park, we love
depending
it.
on the results, of
It's
course.
like a home ground out there for us.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know whether you're
That's
setting
how we have
yourself
to
up
think
for a
about
bit
it,
of
Loz.
glory. That's it. So if you check the website, we're heading out to East Burwood, Ringwood, obviously Bayswater, and also Baronia. So depending on your division and where everyone finishes, that's where they'll be at.
Okay, and the Blood Oath, have we got any winners, any checks going to any of our footy clubs yet?
We've pumped it up as much as we could in the last 3 weeks. There's still a few days to go, and we've still got a few teams in the top 10. So make sure you get on Facebook and take the oath and nominate your club. But we had an EFL guy. He's won himself a trip to the AFL Grand Final.
Fantastic.
He's also won his club, Ferntree Gully Eagles, $5,000. So
Five gorillas.
it's a great prize. So obviously we've seen that now someone can win it. So we've certainly given it gives everyone a great incentive to jump on and take the oath.
Yes, check it out, facebook.com/Blood Oath, is that
My
right?
Blood Oath.
My
that's
Blood
it,
Oath.
Yep.
I'll get there eventually. Good stuff. Now, before I let you go, we've got some footies here. What are we doing with these?
You'll have to watch to the end of the show. If you keep an ear out for the code word.
Ooh, code word, good.
We've got 3 of these Sharons, thanks to Bogues, to give away. One's signed by a number of Hawthorn personalities,
Awesome.
including yourself, the man with the big shorts. So keep an eye out for the code word, and you'll need to email that code word by Sunday to competitions@efl.org.au.
Right.
So hopefully we'll get that on the ticker across the bottom there. And if you email me the code word by Sunday, you'll go into the draw and we'll draw it next week.
Code word, competitions@efl.org.au by Sunday. What time Sunday? Close the business? There's no business on Sunday?
I reckon 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock
Yep.
Sunday. Sounds good to
Good
me.
cut-off.
Busy week as always, Lauren. Great to catch up.
It is. Thanks for having me.
See you next week.
Thanks.
Lauren Wood, the manager of the Eastern Football League media team. Time to catch up with the Eastern Footy League Footy Ops manager, Phil Merton. G'day, Mertz.
Half, good to see you again.
Lots to talk about, particularly I've been reading the forum, just scanning every now and then as I do, and they're talking about ground conditions and a couple out there that may be a little bit, well, soggy, to say the least at the moment.
Yeah, look, I mean, considering we're coming to the end of what's almost been an 18-month winter, we've got some grounds that are showing some signs of wear and tear, and some grounds that have had a fair bit of water on them over the last 18 months. So I think for the last 10 years, while we had the issues with hard grounds at the start of the year, during the season we didn't see much mud as a result of not much rain in the winter as well. So I think it's almost a bit of a re-education process that we do play a winter game, played on council-maintained facilities, and that, at times there's going to be a fair bit of mud on some grounds that are getting a fair bit of use.
Council maintained facilities, so effectively we can't do anything about it. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, not that we can't do anything about it. I think everyone can try and monitor the amount of use they're getting. And when the fact that we've got 30% more teams now than what we did 10 years ago means that the grounds are being used even more than what they were. It's a matter of clubs doing the right thing. But if you get a day of 3 games where you've got a fair bit of rain falling, then the ground's going to get chopped up a bit. So, look, everything that's been presented to us so far hasn't demonstrated that playing in mud is dangerous. And while it's not ideal and we'd like to book the MCG and Etihad every week, they're actually booked out. So, look, we're going to have a variety of conditions over the course of the rest of the season, and we'll hope to manage the grounds as best we can.
Well, considering not long ago you couldn't use the grounds because they were too hard, or we couldn't train on them because they were too hard, all of a sudden you're having the too wet problem. You're at the element of the gods. You know, no one actually controls what's going on there, so you just play on what's there.
Yeah, exactly.
Surely.
And as I mentioned earlier, I mean, I think we've got a generation of players at the moment that haven't played in mud.
Yep.
Because for 10 years
Soft.
we didn't have any rain. So there is a bit of a re-education process. That, as I said, it's a winter sport played outdoors, and we're going to get some challenging conditions at times.
And the best players play out there every week, and they will be recognised in the SEN Teams of the Year, I believe.
Yeah, we've just sent some information out to clubs. It's an initiative we've had going for the last 4 years, and I think it's a great way to recognise the elite players of the competition, particularly I think for those guys who might be in teams that don't get into finals, but are guys who are the standout players in the competition. So, yeah, as we've done each year, the coaches send in a team selected in positions and an interchange and nominate a coach as well. And from that, we then collate that information, look at some stuff from the media team as well, and we'll announce the squads of each of those teams in the lead up to their grand finals.
Yep.
And then the teams will be announced on Chandler Medal Night. So, yeah, again, we think it's a great initiative, and it's probably worth starting to consider who those elite players in the competition are.
Is there a maximum eligible from each team? Or a minimum?
A coach can only nominate a certain amount from his own team.
Okay.
But in the team that's selected at the end of the season, if the other 9 or 11 coaches from any one team pick 8 players from the one team, well, yeah, they can all get in. But from an individual coach's perspective, he can only choose a set amount, which is 4 from his own team.
So still plenty of weeks for you guys out there to really pull your finger out and have a great end of the season. You might be a part of the SEN Team of the Year in your division as well. Thank you, Mertz. Great to catch up.
Thanks, Half. See you again.
Phil Merton, Footy Ops Manager for the Eastern Footy League. All right, let's talk some real footy action with Sean Kelly, the main man on the Eastern Footy League media team, the main man. Benny Waterworth couldn't make it today. Are you just sitting in as a deputy, Sean? Good afternoon.
Yeah, just filling in, just so I can come warm the chair for a week for him.
Did you pass it by him?
I
Is he
did.
okay with this?
I had to get the okay. He hummed and hawed about it. He said, all right, you can have this week. No worries.
All right, let's look at Divi 1 action. A big game this week. Knox and East Burwood. Probably the last roll of the dice for the Rams.
Yeah, you would think that they're 2.5 games behind 5th spot at the moment, thanks to your win over Scoresby on the weekend, of course, the Ball and Tigers.
Happy to help.
It is definitely their last roll of the dice. Losing to Croydon wasn't on their script last week. Unfortunately, Damien Cupido kicked 9 goals of Croydon's 10 and got them over the line against East Burwood. It's not going to be easy for them. Knox, the only team so far that have not allowed 1,000 points for the season so far.
Doing a good job, Johnny Knight down there.
He is indeed. You've taught him well.
Well, no, he taught me a bit, actually.
I was going to say I thought it might have been that way. Clubs averaging, would you believe, less than 56 points a game against Knox this season.
It's remarkable. They've been a great story for Divi 1 footy this year, the Knox Falcons, and good luck to them until they meet us again if that happens. Divi 2, by the way, tip.
Knox
to win that one. Divi 2, Mirrabbark and Montrose, good local rivalry here.
This is probably one of the bigger local rivalries going around. Of course, these two clubs only been playing each other recently in the last 2 years, but this is a rivalry that goes way, way back, and you talk to anyone from both clubs, and it's the old timers. They get a bit of a glint in their eye when they talk about the other club.
Yeah, well, where's it stem from, this rivalry? Is it just time, or has there been some big clashes over the years?
Next door neighbours for suburbs and things like that. I don't think there's been any real major clashes or anything like that. It's just obviously the neighbouring suburbs and everything like that, going back to the days when they weren't so much suburbs as little towns.
Who wins and why?
Montrose should win. Having said that, Mirrabbark are their bogey side. They've got them a couple of times over the last few years. They can't quite seem to get a handle on Kide Talevski. But Montrose is only half a game separating them in second, Bayswater and Roval in third and fourth. They need to win it if they're fair dinkum about the premiership.
All right, good luck to both teams in that one. Divi 3, the upstarts from Divi 4 last year, Templestowe, take on the champs at the moment, North Ringwood.
They do indeed. A little bit of a letdown this week with Divi 3 in many ways, because with Templestowe beating Mitcham last week, there's 3 rounds to go. Mitcham are 3 games and percentage behind 4th spot. So you'd think the top 4 is just about done. Having said that, Templestowe haven't beaten a side above them on the ladder yet this season. They almost got North Ringwood last time, winning by 2 points, but some really good additions to the North Ringwood lineup this year. Jimmy Candler coming back from the Croydon Footy Club, and one of your old mates, Nick Harbeck, coming in as well and doing a really, really good job. It could be the difference in what sees North Ringwood over the line this year.
Yeah, they're a pretty good team, the Saints, led by a great man in Brett Moyle. Good luck, Moyle, this week. Divi 4, Forest Hill and the Basin. Lots of goals kicked last week in Divi 4. We're going to see the same thing this week?
Yeah, huge amounts of goals, as Lauren touched on. Congratulations to both Darren Sheen and Lucas Appleby for kicking their 100th goals for the season. Got a feeling there might be another one on the way in a couple of weeks in Division 4. We might be talking about Matt Carnelli from the Glen Waverley Hawks, who's on the radar after kicking 13 last week against Surrey Park. But this one that we're mentioning, Forest Hill and the Basin, this is Forest Hill's last chance. Every game's an elimination final going forward for them. They're a game and 47% behind 5th place South Belgrave at the moment. 3 to go. They win every game. They're a chance. They lose this week, which is highly likely against the Basin, who are a quality outfit, who are themselves gunning for a double chance. and that's it.
So the Basin for you?
Basin for me. Sorry, guys.
Okay, and the Radio Eastern 98.1 game of the week. Where's the caravan off to this week?
That will be the game between Mooroolbark and Montrose. No caravan this week. We put it in for some maintenance. Unfortunately, the Baldwin boys, when you came off the ground last week, gave it a bit of a bang with some excited kind of celebrations that you had going. So we had to panel beat it in for the week. So inside the social rooms this week in Mooroolbark, they always look after us, so it should be good.
It's going to be a great week of EFL footy. Don't forget the code word for the prize, the chance to win one of these footies, 9 News. Email that to competitions@efl.org.au for a chance to win one of these beautiful Bogues Draft footies. Thanks for your company this week. We'll do it all again next week on EFL TV.